Alright, we should be live now. So let me put the YouTube chat on my right so I can actually see what's going on. And then you could actually look at the data mining stuff. Is that YouTube thing working? YouTube one looks weird. The one for Twitch seems like it's working. Let's see. Okay, no, the YouTube is working now. It was just lagging. Awesome. So I might wait a minute for people to get in here and put an ad out in the Discord, and then we can start seeing stuff. Oh gosh, dang it. Why did the YouTube stuff not change? The YouTube title should change. Why did it not change? I think stuff is slowly working itself out. So for people who aren't familiar with the data mining stuff, I can kind of go into that early here, and I'll probably have to repeat myself at some point. But there's a community within New World. Lennon is the main guy that like does the stuff, but he has a GitHub repo which basically just stores software. And what he does is he grabs all the in-game files from New World. I believe he did this or he did it for the actual game. He's doing it for the open beta, anything that he's allowed to do. And he basically just stores this stuff on the web. And then what this is used for is it's used for New World Buddy. It's also used for New World Database. So he's kind of the guy that makes like everything happen. And he publishes the tools that make everything happen as well. So he's the main dude that's like actually behind all this stuff. Just a lot of applications are built on top of the data mining that he does. Can you Chad Miko back to mining reaction? Real. The data mining part's like, honestly, the data mining in this game's like relatively fun, but it's mostly fun because AGS is so poor at communicating stuff that you learn more from data mining than you do from their own announcements. Like you actually just have to comb through what they're releasing to figure out what is going on. Also, I need to split up the YouTube stream. So for people in the YouTube chat, I am looking at you on the side, and then the Twitch chat, I'm also like looking at you guys at the same time, so I should be able to answer questions. Let me throw this in the chat for both YouTube and Twitch, depending on where you guys are at. And then this is like a starting point. This is a lot easier for all of you guys to follow. Honestly, I might go through this at some point as well. I have a hard stop in like 2 hours and 10 minutes ish. Or is it a little more than that? No, it's almost 3 hours. Yeah, I almost have 3 hours. I got 2 hours and like 40 minutes, and then I have a hard stop. But up until then, we can look at whatever you guys want to look at, talk about anything you guys want to talk about, and kind of explore what's coming. Haven't played much New World in the past 2 months or so, but excited for October 15th regardless. Yeah, I'm in like kind of the same spot. Like I haven't done anything for New World. At this point I don't even warlog, which I've never gotten to that point where I stopped warlogging. But I still try to help a few people who are playing in wars and try to help them improve on the side, but I don't do anything active. Rare Micro stream, one Deadlock stream. I could get into to Deadlock stuff. I don't know if I'm like if I do that, it'll be like later tonight. I've been playing a lot of Deadlock. I don't know how popular that would be with everyone. That's the only thing. But I know it's a very popular game, and I'm not insane at it, but I'm definitely good at it. Like I think I'm top 0.1% of players right now, but like my bar for being good at a game is usually top like 0.0 low one, if that makes sense. So I'm like still like a thousandth of like or like a hundredth of what I normally am for games. So like I think I have a lot to learn. I don't think I'm not good at the game, but I understand where I need to be at every point in time. So it's like kind of a I'm smart at the game, but I'm not like mechanically insane at it yet. Overwatch Chad going to deadlock, easy peasy. I mean, Overwatch for me is like a little bit less fun than it used to be, but it's still fun to watch if that makes sense. It's like it's a little bit too high action. New World's like a little bit timid. The problem with New World is it's a UI clusterfuck. And large scale. And small scale, it's perfectly fine. Large scale, it's crazy hard to see anything. And it doesn't have ways to like really tone that stuff down a ton. There's some settings that help there too. All right, so I see we got 17 people on the Twitch. We got 11 on YouTube. What about New World? Sooks, we are looking at New World data mine. So this is a way to kind of preview stuff that's coming with the beta. I have a video that I've recorded for tomorrow, for which will be my first video uploaded in a few months, that we can look at some of this stuff as well. It's more high level though. I'm like that video is like basically just strictly talking about the end game, talking about the beta a bit, and my like entry level thoughts, and then kind of gauge interest, see what people want, and then go from there. But New World has a beta that is coming out tomorrow, I believe. Yeah, it comes out the 13th, it runs till the 16th, so it's just the weekend. And you can advance to level 30 and kind of play that. To be honest, I'm likely not, like, I didn't even apply for beta access, so I don't think I'm going to play the beta, but the data mining part is very interesting to me. The actual, like, level grinding to 30, like, I've level grinded to, like, 65 like 7 or 8 times at this point, so I'm trying to like, if I have to do that again, I'm only doing that once. I do not want to do it on the beta and then do it on the live game, and even then I don't think I can do it on the live game because there's only 3 character slots and I've already maxed that out for everywhere. I hear there's been a new Thorns perk and I can't wait to see what it does. Yeah, they did add a new Thorns perk. It basically works like attunement, but it's if someone hits you, an attunement effect procs. So it's going to be really, really good for ult charge, but I don't think it's going to actually have significant damage, and that damage from the thorns will scale with your weapon damage, I believe. So it's like, it's okay, but I don't know if it's insane. It will be really good for ult charge, though. Do you think New World to get back on track? Long term, no. Short term, maybe. My king, we don't deserve to be in this mode like this. Gresham finally doing something. Finally. Let's see, where'd my chat go? Why is my chat like not overlaid on the screen anymore? What did I break? I broke something. Oh, this is probably something to do. At one point I was like messing with a bunch of settings, and I think I broke like half the stuff I had set up for Twitch. Because I was messing with recording settings because Albion's like really weird with how you play it. I've had to take a brief walk before it gets dark. Don't say anything too interesting for like 20 minutes or so. I'm trying to like drag out the beginning part here so that I can avoid repeating myself as much as possible, but I will repeat myself if I need to repeat myself. I think at one point I made a video about the beta stuff and then AGS took it down too, which is kind of funny. But yeah, we'll see how that goes. I'm pretty sure my copyright strike is like about over at this point, so hopefully I don't get hosed in like the next couple of days, and then after that I'm back to like a pretty comfortable spot with everything. Because AGS did not want information about their other beta out there, even though I didn't sign an NDA, which is fun. I mean, you guys can read through the open beta stuff. I don't think we need to like rehash this part. We can probably just get into the actual details. Is anyone here like new to New World? I guess I should ask. Like, if anyone's like new to like real new to New World, I can go through like some of the open beta stuff. But if everyone's like kind of returning, which I assume most people here are returning, I could just kind of jump into like the deep end here. I remember you saying I probably won't get strikes since I didn't NDA. Yeah, they didn't go after it for the NDA. They went after it because I included a picture of this map taken from someone else. And then because I included a screenshot of the map that was taken from someone else, they claimed that the entire video was showing information or was showing quote unquote footage from the beta and then took it down. And I didn't feel like effectively going to court to fight Amazon over that because it doesn't make any sense. So like the video for reference is like 30 minutes long. And then I had like one screenshot in that video that I showed for like maybe 5 seconds, and then they took the entire thing down. That was the excuse. That's reaching. Yeah, it was reaching, but at the same time, I don't care enough because I made $10. Like I make $10 per video, like roughly. So it's like, do I care enough to like lose my YouTube channel over $10? And like, no, I don't. Like from my perspective, it's like just if people care about New World, like maybe I make New World stuff in 3 months. But if people don't care about New World, then I'll just move on to Deadlock or some other game. They would just bleed you out in court. Law is rigged. Yeah, that's how it works. Because the way that the court system in the U.S. works is, say I lost in court, then I would owe AGS all their lawyers' fees, which effectively would bankrupt me. So like, why does it ever make sense to take that risk over $10? Like it's literally just off a principle, and it doesn't make sense. The way they're really destroying endgame content now, no reason to do mutations, can't craft endgame gear, no reason to do OPR, New World PvP. There is a reason to do the endgame stuff, but it's like kind of limiting. There's a box you can get. I don't think it's the major sandworm one. I think it's something like this. No. There's a box you get once per week by doing like an OPR or something like that. I forget exactly what it's called. I found it when I was like looking through this stuff. Because you can... Is this the thing that's used for recipes? Yeah, the Gorgon essence is like the main thing that's used for a lot of these recipes. And I think there's something in here that there's like a component in there, like a box that you can get that also rolls gear or something like that from OPR. I just forget exactly what it's called. The essence of the end game, which you guys will see in the video tomorrow, is basically you get these inductors from doing I think this one's from the raid. And I don't think the inductor was time gated, but like everything else related to crafting is time gated. Oh, you need schematics too to get the gear? So you need to grind this to get the schematics to unlock the schematics to craft the gear, which is bind on pickup? Oh my god. That's worse than I thought it was. I thought you could just craft it. But it looks like you need a schematic for it. Ashes of Creation. I mean, Ashes of Creation is like showing more so to be a scam now than a real game from what I'm seeing. You have to pay like right now it's like what, $120 to access the beta, which doesn't give you access to the live version of the game or the alpha or something like that. Schematics aren't BOP, are they? It doesn't look like they're BOP, so you could sell the schematics to other people, but you would still need the individual schematic to craft your own gear because all this gear is BOP. So if I go back to the homepage here and we go to Gorgon Essence and we go to crafting or used in recipes, and like this is just to craft like a shirt or whatever. Like you have to use the essence, which you have to get materials from the raid from. You have to use a scarab, you have to use a matrix, you have to use like all this time gated stuff just to get this gear. And then this gear is 725, has magnify locked, but you could choose the other three attributes. Schematics are also a once used thing and used for making the full RNG crafts. Could you... I haven't looked at the full RNG crafts yet. From what I was seeing, most of the gear that you can get that's 725 is effectively a has magnify on it. There are a few pieces that didn't have magnify on it, but it's like you can only get one other perk from it. So like the Hoplite set, this is the set that had like really weird stuff too, right? Like the Hoplite, like it had like illegal perks on half this gear from last time I looked at it. Like someone was posting this in the Discord. I don't really see those when I'm looking at it from here. Oh, here's one. Uh, Hasted Vigor. Is this a new perk that's on armor? Or is this a weapon perk? Looks like it's an armor perk. Okay, I think I saw some weapon perks that were on armor though. What's gonna happen to bruisers with the con nerf? Uh, Less bruising as you think of it. Like there will be effectively more counters to that. Hi, is this 300 con thing real? Yeah, 300 con thing is real. I have sources that say it's that way under the NDA build as well. I haven't really talked about this, but I'm starting to open up more about this. I have sources that, like, basically what AGS does is AGS has kind of a tiered system for how they do their betas. So if I go to a blank page here. So, sorry guys, the epic pen's coming back out, and why is that bright white? Oh my god. Oh my god. That is terrible now. Okay. Well, I'll just draw on a notepad. So AGS kind of has a tiered system. They have their closed beta, which they put out for some people. And then after this, they have their open beta. And then after this, they have their NDA build. The NDA build is the final build that is going to come out to the game. So effectively, AGS is going to take this feedback that we get from the open beta, and it's not going to apply to the NDA build. So a lot of the feedback that comes from the open beta, they say they listen to it, but they don't really listen to it because it doesn't pertain to the final build, if that makes sense. Like, the only changes that they'll make to the final NDA build is, like, if something's dramatically wrong, like a bug that is, like, effectively, like, so game-breaking that they would consider it to be an exploit. They do tend to not change stuff from this open beta to NDA. So we're at a spot where we're going to get this open beta, which is the part that we're data mining, so this is the focus of today. Because if I talk about the NDA build, which I don't have access to, but know people that have access to, and they tell me things about it, then AGS will, like, try to do something weird to me, considering what they did the last time. So we are not doing that. But we can look at the beta build here. Why AGS nerfing bruisers instead of nerfing decks and mages? They're kind of buffing decks and mages, and I don't have a great reason for that in terms of the why. But I can tell you that AGS does not really, like, internally from that NDA group does not like the warring community whatsoever, and is basically trying to do things to kill the warring community without, like, officially saying, war community, we don't like you. Because from their perspective, the war community is causing a lot of problems, and they've taken, like, a lot of drastic actions to try to, like, kind of cater away from the war community, if that makes sense. So, like, a lot of this time gate stuff, like, why are they time gating all this content, right? It's like, it's a reason, or it's a way to deal with warloggers effectively, because warloggers have multiple characters, they have multiple accounts, and they're not going to be bothered to go through all this time gated content for, like, 3 to 5 different characters. Like, it's just too much work. So, like, it's a way to kind of reduce the potency of people that have multiple characters and are just trying to make it so the experience is a little bit more new player friendly from that regard. But I don't really agree with that completely. And then the other part is they're trying to reduce the potency of gold and, like, how influential gold is, because they don't want gold to govern everything in this game. Or at least that's something that Scott doesn't want, but other people disagree with him on. All classes are power creep just because of survivability. Everything needs a reset, to be honest. Yeah, so they're pushing the stat cap up too. So, like, right now we're at, like, 600-ish. It's going to be 650 roughly when this comes out. The weird part, so this is kind of talking about the video that's coming out tomorrow too, is a lot of this gear, if you look at it, so, like, this specific set is not Magnify, right? But if you look at any of the gear that you have to craft, you'll notice that it has Magnify locked on it. So you're going to have 650 stacks with Magnify, right? And you can only put Magnify towards one stat, or you can have it be a mix of both stats, which means you end up in a weird spot where you can't really hit every stat threshold you want. So, like, if I were to go to the attributes, Like you would think from a bruiser perspective, maybe I want to hit 350 strength and I want to hit 300 con, which is somewhere down here. You can't actually hit both of those if you have too much magnify. So, like, you want to limit your magnify that you have, but all the gear that you can make has magnify on there. So then you're like kind of relying on random drops to get you part of the way there to hit your stat thresholds, or you just don't hit every stat threshold that you want. Does that make any sense? I can go through the math for that, but that's like the high level. The random drops are also magnify? Okay. Yeah, I was told that like a lot of this stuff is magnify. I haven't like dug through everything on here. That was partially what this stream was for, is to partially go through this stuff. Neural database side's a little bit easier to understand. This side is I diffed everything from the current build of the game to the beta, so I found every single change that's coming out, and then I could like look through every single change. So if you look here on my right, this like red and green stuff, if it's red, that means it was taken out. If it was green, that means it was added in. Some of this stuff means nothing, like a lot of this stuff means nothing here. And then some of this other stuff is actually like kind of important. So like they added a bunch of like conversations apparently, like they're tracking that. They added a bunch of NPCs you could talk to, they're tracking that. There's a bunch of raid recipes they added. We can see those. Oh, that's a nice crafting fee. Cost you 15k for the schematic or something like that. Oh, 250 jewel crafting, right? That's at 200 right now, so they're increasing those caps by 50. So there's like some stuff that's like kind of nice to look at from the actual files themselves. And then there's some things that are a little bit easier to look at from the Neuro databases side. Does shirking nature still have the empower tag? I think it does. But it's a little bit harder to look at right now because New World Buddy doesn't have it. So what I have to do to like look at shirking nature is I look here at New World database, I find this hidden tag that's listed up here, I copy that, I go to here, and then like I have to go to the files and search for it basically. Which I haven't figured out the best method for doing this yet. But it's like this is how I have to look through it, and it's just like it's not organized well. So I don't think these are really what I want. I think I want perk bucket or item perk. This is scaling per gear scores stuff. So this is like all the gross things, and I don't see the tag, like the empower tag on here necessarily. But this is like what Neuro Database and Neuro Buddy parses effectively to give us the pretty pictures, and what the game parses to give us the pretty pictures. It's just like not organized in a way that's like super human readable. So like some things we could find, some things are like very hard to see. Beaker schematic crafts are bind on equip one perk, selected RNG. You said bop. Okay. I mean, that's better. Do they require armoring? That would be the other question here. It's schematic. Yeah, recipes schematic, which crafts this. So how do you tell from here how many perks? They require trade skill 250? Yeah, okay, yeah, I see that now. Armoring skill 250. Okay, cool. So they have like something for that. That's good. The schematic stuff I didn't figure out much till today. Or like just now. It still requires this Gorgon's Eye though, which I believe is dropped from the raid. So it's going to be a lot of raid doing, and I don't think there's variability in the raid. So if you thought like mutations are boring, like the raids, like it's going to be static. Like there's you can't even I don't think you can do both raids to get this stuff too. Like the Gorgon's Eye is only dropped in the Hive of the Gorgons raid, not dropped in the other raid too. So yeah, and it's dropped by the 3 bosses that are included in the raid. What are the boss drops? Drop artifacts too. So one of them drops jewelry, one of them drops armor, and the other drops weapons, I'm guessing. Yeah. One's jewelry, one's armor, one's weapons. 725. Please tell me there isn't a time gate on the raid too. I know there's a time gate on the PV P side. This I don't see the time gate on though. The actual amount of times that you can do the raid though, that part I don't know for sure. If I go back to the home page here, and then we look at the PvP thing, you can see limit expiration 7 days. So that means you can only get like one of these PvP upgrade things every 7 days. And then that's used for crafting, well, kind of just random drops. You can only craft one every 168 hours, which I believe is a week. Yeah, 7 days. Yeah. Okay. So you can only craft one of these crates once every 7 days. Requires 1,800 mystic doubloons and the gold crest coconut. And then this chest. Do we see what the chest drops? I don't think we can see what the chest drops. Oh, no, we can. So it drops this Apex Gold Curse stuff. It actually looks really cool, I'm not gonna lie. And at least this doesn't have Magnify on it. And it seems to have PvP only perks. Oh my god, this stuff is awful. Why did they put Keen on everything? They put Keen on a bow, on a musket, and on a blunderbuss. It's literally useless. How many hours left for the beta? It should be coming out tomorrow, like around 9 or 10, so like less than 24. Check life staff perk roll. What did they do to life staff? Air life. Blessed, refreshing. Oh yeah, this is just Biss, isn't it? Yeah, they gave life staff a pure Biss and they gave all the ranged players Keen. Okay, that's cool, AGS. That's really cool. Oh, the life staff players will be happy, except for the fact that everyone's going to be using Living Mind. uh, that's funny. No, the RNG one? What about it? Why do you even still care for this game? I really don't. It's just other people care for this game, so I'm looking at this game. Like, I care more about, like, Devlock than I do this game. I have not played New World in 2 months. Check the perk bucket. Wait, what? That's weird. There's a bunch of damage perks on here. That's really odd. Like, as... Okay. Does it even have Blessed on here? Dude, the RNG one doesn't have Blessed? You can't get Blessed on the life staff? That's wonderful. 4 years of beta? Yeah. You can't take New World seriously. That's the problem. Like, you start looking at this stuff, and, like, the deeper you dig, the more it doesn't make sense. Life stuff, buffs all around. I mean, at least the life stuffs have the named one, right? Like, if you get this one, you're fine. It's just the RNG one is, like, useless. Are any of these other ones good, or is it just life staff that's good? That yeah, it's not really that helpful. That's not helpful. It's literally just the life staff that's good. Like, crit damage is like not really useful for most weapons. I mean, it looks cool. You could see the clothing stuff with weapon perks on it yet. I saw people post that in a Discord. I just haven't found it like on the site. Like I know I was posting stuff about data mining here. I leaked how much I make per video, which is not much. And yeah, like this stuff. Like Desperate Empower is on the sand lion thing. It's like 710 now. Like it's not 725, but it's like all this stuff, right? Like why is there Desperate Empower on there? Why is there Keenly Fortified on a chest piece? Like they don't really look at any of this. Why is there keen? Okay, that's actually broken to have Keenly Empowered on a legwear. I'm not gonna lie. And there's Keen Speed. Like they just messed this entire setup completely. They messed the other life stuff up completely too. We'll look at the YouTube side. I haven't looked at the YouTube side in a bit. Oh gosh, I missed so many things. All classes are power creep. No, I looked at that. Uh, Raid will be released without any public testing, so likely just won't work first week. Uh, I know the NDA beta build had the raid up and running, and people said it was actually relatively good and not super buggy. But the thing that I would draw a comparison to is there's three bosses in this raid, and they tend to be static. Like they tend to be in the middle of an arena, and you kind of work your way around them. Like if I look at Destiny 1 and when that released over a year ago, or sorry, over 10 years ago. And like, I swear Destiny's first raid that they put out 10 years ago is like probably 2 to 3 times better than New World's first raid that they're putting out 10 years later. So it's like, I don't know. It's okay. But I don't expect it. I wouldn't expect it to be anything amazing. Come to Twitch, nerds. Uh, I don't care. People look at it either way. The YouTube stuff I can't. I have two monitors, right? So I have the Twitch chat open in one monitor. I have the YouTube chat opened on the same monitor, and I'm flipping back and forth. And the monitor isn't really that big, so I can't have the chat open on both. Um, do you guys want to look through items, or should I start looking through the juicy stuff and see like uh hidden things that were added and like bosses and stuff? I know I posted some things in my Discord, like there's a fish NPC apparently that you can interact with. I just saw they added in like a stamina perk when you're swimming, and then that can cause you to drown. Or like a stamina related effect. So there's like that kind of stuff I could look at, or we could just look at items. Hello, do you come back in October? Kind of TBD. Leaning towards like briefly, and then probably not long term, but TBD. I'm back. What did I miss? Roasting? Well, yeah. They have a bunch of stuff that's like wrong if you look deep into things. The first Destiny 2 raid was amazing too. Yeah, like it was really good. Destiny is like known for having really good raids at this point. Looking at swimming stuff, yeah, there's some swimming stuff that's hidden in the data mines. This is Albion stuff. I got bored and I optimized Albion to see how much money I can make from flipping certain things. So like what people do on the markets like all the time in New World, they just sit there and they try to figure out stuff that they can flip. I did that with all in a button click, and then I made a bunch of money in Albion. It was kind of fun. Uh, but that's what I did with my time because I got bored, and I learned a bunch of stuff too. Item perks deprecated. That's a thing now. Okay, I'm getting distracted. So if I look at this spot, so this shows the changes between the live build and the beta build, and then from here, like you could see a bunch of like unique things. It's just not displayed in a super readable format. So this afflictions tab actually shows some like new stuff. Afflictions are like basically statuses that get applied to players. This new one here, affliction fatigue, status effect drowning. So basically you can drown if you're swimming for too long now. So that's how they're kind of overcoming what they did for the swimming. The swimming effect itself, all it is basically is an emote that New World coded to play on the water, which I mean it works. It's not pretty, but it works. And then you drown after a certain period of time. So like before, where if you were underwater for too long, you drown. It's like okay, now if you're swimming for too long, you'll go underwater and then you drown. So it's like that's it. So it's like um, what it has a drown rate, drown of like it just added this stuff, but it's like so you can't get too far out of the map. They add in some ammo stuff. Oh, they nerfed all the ammos. Oh, wait, that's really big. Wait, they actually went through with this? I didn't think they actually went through with this. I was told about this, and I didn't think they would actually do it. All ammo same now? Yeah, all the ammo's the same. I thought they removed ammo. Yeah, that's basically what they did. They just coded all the ammo to be the same. Rip BB. Yeah, BB still has a PvP like damage nerf. So usually what they would do, uh, I think. Oh yeah, actually I remember this. At one point, someone from AGS like reached out to me because they were like asking about this, and I was like, you can do this as long as you bake in the multiple into the damage effect. So like, for example, if your BB before did 100 damage and then you nerfed it by 15, or say you nerfed it by 20%, right? uh like you multiply by 1 or 15%, right? Like before, so then it would really be 115 damage because they're multiplying it by this number. It's instead of just coding it as like the 15. If you wanted to get rid of ammo, all you have to do is just change this 100 to 115, and then like you're good. And I don't know if they actually went through with that, but that would have solved a lot of problems if they did that. If they didn't do this, then they just nerfed every ranged weapon. If they did this, then everything should be effectively fine. And I guess one way to tell that would be to look at the damage of a ranged weapon between the beta and the non-beta, right? So we need to find a blunderbuss that would be consistent between the open beta and the non-open beta. So if I look at this T5 blunderbuss, uh, which is just generic, then this is hitting for 83 base damage. So that's, and we can see the damage per hit there. So if I duplicate this, go to live, go to tier 5 blunderbuss. There we go. So it's 83 and 83. So these damages, the base damage here and the thrust damage here is the same, but they nerfed the ammo, right? So that means that they nerfed every ranged weapon by like 15%. Like 15 to 20%. So every ranged weapon that had ammo just got nerfed by 15 to 20%. Is like how I would read into this. And the way I can tell that is because the damage on an item between the beta and the live game is the same, but the damage bonus from the ammo was removed. What does ammo do now? It doesn't really do anything. It just looks pretty. Like if you look at all of this, the damage modifier is 1, the stagger damage modifier is 1. So that means that your shots are going to stagger less and they're going to do less damage now. So that's like an example of like data mining and stuff that you could find within data mining that you wouldn't be able to find within New World database or anywhere else. Like if I were to test this in game, I would probably never find this because like it's just like you'd have to do really detailed testing, but by data mining you can find this stuff really easily. Can you tell if swimming's any faster? Uh, I might be able to, but I think swimming's just coded as an emote right now, so it should just be the speed of like ice skating or something like that. Like that's how fast swimming will be. Like I don't think there's like different. I don't think there's like a sprinting mechanic with swimming, or I haven't heard of anything like that. Any words about salvaging them from something? I mean, I could look at ammo, but I don't think it will have the salvage recipe. That's something that you probably want to test. Or Calcum cartridge. Okay, so it still exists on the beta. Oh, it's not obtainable. They deleted ammo. Yeah, so I don't know what they're gonna do when the ammo stuff gets deleted, but ammo's getting deleted from the game. And they're not buffing weapons according to the ammo that was deleted. So yeah, they're just nerfing range by it seems like they're nerfing range by 20%, but it's actually more than 20% because that 20% multiplies by everything else and is a separate factor. So it should be closer to like 25%, like if a nerf to range. What's your opinion on the Warhammer Artifacts special perk? I haven't looked at artifacts yet. I looked at like a few, but not really in depth. Oh, let me just click Warhammer. So not, it's not a type. Okay, never mind. Let me find the Warhammer one. Oh, is it this one? Oh, consume 25% night lifesteal versus knockdown foes. So the only Warhammer effect that does knockdown, there's like one Warhammer effect that actually applies a knockdown, and all the others are like a stun, right? Or something weird like that. Like, I don't think this is a knockdown. Yeah, no, that's... I don't think Mighty Gavel knocks down. Wrecking Ball knocks down. Uh, Clear Out, I think technically will apply a knockdown effect, so you have two ways to get the knockdown. So it seems really niche. And then you just get lifesteal on foes that are knocked down. I mean, this Warhammer is just a PvE Warhammer. Like, I wouldn't never use this in PvP, but like if you want to solo a boss, this seems fine. I don't know if it's special, but it's fine. Clear out? Yeah, yeah. Yeah, you either go clear out or you go. I forget what the perk's called, but you know you have two Warhammer effects that do a knockdown: Wrecking Ball or Clear Out. So you have to use one of those. Let me go back to Twitch. Micro isn't reading. Yeah, no, I'm like not really reading, but I'm kind of reading. You're in 12 different spots. There's probably a better way to do this, but this is my view of like the Twitch right now, and then like this is my view of the YouTube right now. So I have two different chats, and I'm like trying to juggle between the two, and like it's moving, and I'm not a pro streamer, so I'm not as good with this. I'm sorry. Just keep spamming me if I don't answer a question, because I might mix it. I might miss it. It's probably good that they nerfed range, though, to be honest, because like I was kind of scared about like this island with like 3 points of entry, and then you could just be shot from anywhere over here. Like it would be really, really hard to get in and out with range if range is really good. Like I assume you cannot make it like from here to here, from here to here, and then from like here to here, and from here to here. Like that probably won't work. So you have to go this way, or this way. Like maybe you could swim this far. If you could swim that far, that kind of helps a bit too. To your ammo question, they added the 20% base damage boost to ammo weapons. It was on closed beta. But they didn't add it to the old ones, so they added it to the new ones. Okay, that's good. Oh, now I see your old message. I didn't play on the closed beta, so I could avoid that NDA thing. So I missed that phase. But why didn't they added it to the old weapons? If they just like that doesn't make sense to me. Like they should go back and add it in hindsight to all these weapons. Why did you block? Oh god, crush. That's what I've seen from the console beta streamers. Okay. I mean, it's something that you could definitely test between the two builds. Like you could do an A/B test there too, which is nice. It's just like kind of detail oriented. Do you have any info for the future release, like a new zone, weapon mutation, or weapon mount, etc.? Yeah, I have a bunch of info for that. It's all on New World Database right now, so we're partially looking through it here. There's this open beta section. I could throw New World Database stuff in the chat again. So if you guys want to follow along and like kind of play with what I'm playing with, then this is the main tool that I'm looking at. The other tool is a GitHub repo that has the actual values that changed. So I'm also looking at this. The nerf powder burn, but not hard enough. See how bad did they hit it? If I do this, so they nerfed it from 20% weapons damage for 9 seconds to 15 to 7. But did they ever get rid of the slow? Because the crippling powder burn's like the really ass part about powder burn. Yeah, they nerfed the slow too. Okay. So they did nerf musket a bit there. Those are massive nerfs. Yeah, I don't blame musket, but that is a pretty significant nerf. Like if you're going from 27 to 18, so that's like a 33. Yeah, it's a 33% nerf in terms of the slow, and the damage got nerfed as well. So I can keep going down this and we could see if anything else changed. Nerfing the XP per Arcana thing. So they're going to make that grind take longer to get your Arcana leveled up. Archetypes are adding some of these. The archetype's just like a starting class with bonuses, basically. It doesn't really change that much. This is just some back end stuff that they changed. I don't think this is anything big for area definitions. New arena things. They just changed the path here. Yeah, yeah, okay. Yeah, they just changed the image path. That's nothing. Arena PvP balance. All this was null anyway. It didn't even matter. They actually, yeah, no, they didn't add anything in here. All this is null. I don't know if I care about the armor appearances one. The armoring one I care about. Yeah, so they nerfed, it looks like all the crafting stuff, like to level up your skills, they nerfed that. So if you're not 200 right now, it's probably a good idea to hit 200 because all these XP reward values are reduced. It's a pretty significant amount too to go from like 16 to 10. So like relatively, what is that nerf relatively? Is it really 50% basically? They're making it take 50% longer? That's pretty big. I go 20. It's not quite 50, but it's a good, yeah, it's going to take a good amount longer. This is a cash grab, homie. No way we see any real updates. Yeah, I wouldn't expect anything past the original release. Like, New World likes to operate in cycles of 1 year. Like, they'll release something every year, and that's it. So it's like, if you want to play for maybe a week or two, maybe as long as like a month or two, like, then I would consider getting back into it full time. But if you're looking to like get in the New World long term, like, I don't think it really makes a ton of sense. What do you see Firestaff players running since Nature's Wrath is nerfed? Uh, I mean, let's see what other artifacts they have on the beta. That's not the beta build. There's the beta. What other artifact could a Firestaff run that'll make him happy? Nimble Coat? Like, that one's always been good. A Tomb Leather Pants is just more damage. Winged Leather Shoes is actually really good now because it has a base damage increase of 10%. While hasted, and there's ways to basically get perma haste if I remember correctly. Like there's a new perk that gives you haste every time like you hit someone or something like that. I remember in PvP discords we were talking about that perk. See if I could find it. Yeah, these perks. Um, yeah, potency of incoming damage over time, effects reduced by 7% per armor piece with this perk, and taking a hit while inflicted with a dot effect will give you 10% haste for 5 seconds. So you basically can get permanently hasted with hasted vigor, because a rune glass hit counts as a dot because it applies a dot. So you just have perma haste, and then if you have perma haste, then you have perma 10% base damage with winged leather shoes, and then this also makes the haste last longer, right? So winged leather shoes sounds pretty good. The trade skill numbers you're looking at are the XP you get for leveling, not the amount of crafting XP to level. Okay. So does that change anything then? Is that literally you just get to that level and then they give you a little bit of XP? So that just reduces, like, you can't just craft your way to 65, I guess. Oh, yeah, that's right, because I forgot that's just like a speed run way to level. I haven't done that in a while. But like if you mass craft cooking, for example, to 200, then you could like jump from like level like 52 to like 60 or something like that. And that was like a trick so that you can get into Brim, because Brim had a lot better XP than level 50 to like 60 was kind of a slog in terms of leveling. I'm disappointed to not see much artifact balancing. Think we'll see more on release. I think within the month after, yes, but long term, no. Like I think that within the first month of it coming out, they'll like try to make an effort to show to console players that they're actually looking at keeping the game alive, and then at a certain point, they're just like not gonna care again, because that's what they've shown historically. Like they'll work for like a month or two, and then after that, AGS is like, like it's okay. Well, let's work on the next content, and they dedicate like all their resources to working on the next content instead of fixing the current content. So you can look at some of the new artifacts too. See if I can open up all the new ones I see in a different tab, maybe. Yeah, let's do a different tab for this, actually. So otherwise I'm gonna not be organized. Did they change any of these? I'm guessing not really. Wow, they didn't nerf Tumblr still? Tumblr's insane. It's been insane for so long, and it's still gonna be basically a must-have if they didn't nerf Tumblr. Don't say that. Tumblr's all melee has. It's really good. Tumblr's insane. So this one's new. This one's new. This one's new. This one's new. Creed boots, I believe, was already added. Was it added? I remember, no, it wasn't added. I've seen this one before. I saw a leak of that one. It was added? Okay. Oh yeah, yeah, this is old. Yeah, yeah, it's not new. Okay. That one's new. Graves is new, but pretty shitty. This is new. They didn't add many artifacts. I'm not gonna lie. They added like a few. Yeah, they really did not add many. They added like 5 or 6 new artifacts after a year. Like this Warhammer is like, this is just a PvE one. Like this is effectively useless for PvP. I don't know if there's much more to go into that. And the reason why it's useless in PvEs or PvP is because lifesteal stuff is just not super good in PvP. Like you could, I guess, kind of survive, but like it's not super insane. I miss wars and I miss New World being fun. Yeah, I don't know if we're gonna get back to that. Any new content they will add is probably be solo trials. Yeah, I know that they're still working on that stuff. I just don't know how much it's really going to be used. What's your Twitch name from the YouTube side? I think it's Micro with two eyes. Pretty sure it's Micro with two eyes. Uh, which is supposed to be like me, like the we, but everyone just pronounces my, which is fine. But yeah, when you enter an offensive stance, gain 6 seconds of 20% move speed. I mean, that's not bad, but like it's not as good as the other great sword. Like it's just like significantly worse than the one that's already been out. Power Stone for Flail. If your health is above 90%, attacks cause a 20% weaken for 5 seconds. 5-second cooldown per each target. Yeah, this is a must-have for any Flail player. Yeah, no, that's actually insane. This one's really good. It drops from Soul Trials? Oh, come on. I don't want to do those. But I guess I'm doing those. Heavy Flail plus Shield Rush perk. Welcome to World of minus 40% damage. Yeah, no, this is really good. I checked on Google Gloves and they didn't buff them and gave up all hope. Yeah, sounds about right. I don't think they paid attention for the last 8 months, I'm not gonna lie. Me cow. Flail's boring but nice. Elemental Band, if you hit a target with an elemental damage attack, doesn't include damage over time or 2 minutes, gain 4% in power for 6 seconds. So the thing I've heard about this from a guy that played on the NDA build and still plays on NDA build is this still works on Rune Glass. So Rune Glass will proc the elemental affinity, which effectively makes this like insane for Fire Staff, and because you have Fire Staff and you can have a Ice Gauntlet as a secondary. So then you could just get like tons of passive and power for free. I don't know if it's like necessarily a must-have, but it's gonna be very good. Like, say you have a rune glass that's different on each weapon, and then you have your ice gauntlet and you have your fire staff effect, right? Like that's 4 different things. So that's effectively like you gain 16% in power. Like that's like you can kind of play with that, but like this seems like it will be pretty decent to me. Oh, that's weird. It's insane for fire staff. Like everything else. Yeah, it's really good for fire staff. I mean, there's other weapons that could use it too, but fire staff is the one that like mostly comes to mind and shouldn't really be surprising. It also has Hardy on it, which if it didn't have Hardy on it, would not be usable, and some of these artifacts don't have Hardy. Survival's Coat. If you get hit while your health is below 50%, gain 50 stamina, lose all debuffs, and gain a potion surge that'll recharge your next healing potion instantly. I remember being told that this would be game breaking. Is it must have? It sounds really good, I'm not gonna lie. Meteor Showers perk has a 10% plague too, and the Fire Staff has a 20% plague passively now, right? I don't know. This one's going to be really interesting. I'm probably going to play around with this because this seems really good on paper. But the 120-second cooldown's the part that's like kind of sketchy. Definitely good if you're like on that PvP island. This is like so good. Because it's like a free cleanse pot, right? And like you don't have cleanse pots in that scenario, and this would like counter like a crippling powder burn or something like that. So insane situationally. I don't know if it will be good everywhere, but definitely insane situationally. Ghostly Touch. When you hit an empowered foe, dispel 2 of their empowers and give yourself 10 seconds of 10% in power with a 4-second cooldown. The 4-second cooldown kind of kills the effect, I'm not going to lie. Because people have consistent in power. I mean, if you want 10% in power, this is fine, but just go Temblor Feet Wrap. It's just better. Like, it just seems outclassed. Azoth Conductors, if medium equip, wait, deal 15% more elemental damage. What would use this besides... No, Blunderbuss doesn't even want to use this. Temblor's is better for Blunderbuss. And they're not all elemental damage. Would Fire Staff ever use this? Is there any other elemental weapon that would ever use this? Not really. Void Gauntlet, I guess, but no, it's not that good. I don't see a spot where this would really be used a lot, I'm not gonna lie. Like, I think that, like, I guess, no, it's not as good. Like, the wing leather shoes is just better than Azoth conductors. You back to New Road? No, not long term. People just wanted to see the data mine stuff. Like I'll play it by ear. If people like really want to see New World stuff, I can do the New World stuff. Otherwise, I'm probably just gonna go back to playing Deadlock. Conductor says no use with Wrath existing, in my opinion. Yeah, I mean Wrath is generally better. I mean the Wrath downside's still there though, right? Because they nerfed it. Limited duration and powers expire instantly. The durationless and powers potency is reduced by 15%, but you always deal 20% more base damage. Yeah, I mean, Nature's Wrath isn't really that good if it reduces the endless and power effects. Yeah, I mean, most of these artifacts aren't really that useful. There are a few that are decent. The flail one's not sexy at all, but it's really good. And you just put a weapon perk on here. The only sad part is you can't, like, put attunement on here instead of enchanted. Like, enchanted's like kind of a useless perk for flail. But this is just way too strong to not run on a flail. Survivor's Code, I think, could be situationally good. Elemental is okay. Thoughts on the stam recovery nerf? I haven't looked at that yet. If you're hit while below 50% health. Oh. Oh, and they increased the cooldown. And they've reduced the amount? Wait, is that a triple nerf? So you have to be below 50% now. You gain 60 stamina instead of like nearly 100. And the cooldown was increased by 1.5 times. It's always been below 50%? It, it's been... I didn't realize it was always that. I mean, still, like, the stamina nerf and the 45-second cooldown, like, I wasn't using this anyway, because, like, you couldn't run this on Ankh and a protection. So, like, it doesn't change my build, but, like, it doesn't look super good anymore. But, I mean, that's just age-old New World stuff for, like, they don't really know how to balance. I think... Do I have the thing open still? I think it's on the other one. Like, these are some of the new perks that they added. Stam recovery was fine, just other perks needed buffs. Yeah, I just know they're trying to make the game like less of a spam dodge, just sit there and swing game. But I don't think that they'll really get there with this, to be honest. Like, I think they'll get closer, but I don't think it will really get there. And if they do get there, then range is going to be hella good. Everything needs buffs. Yeah, kinda. I mean, I think they made the time to kill too long before, and then every time they increase the gear score, or yeah, every time they increase the gear score amount, the amount of health also goes up, so damage tends to go down because the empower cap hasn't been raised at all. In terms of these perks, is there anything interesting to talk about? And also, I need to check back at the YouTube chat. Haven't looked at the YouTube chat in a bit. I'm abandoning my other half. Abyss Axe would be great with conductor perks. Actually, yeah, it could be used with that. The only thing about the conductor stuff is the it's per elemental effect, right? Or am I thinking of the wrong thing? It's been like 2 seconds and I've already forgot what Azoth conductors do. Oh, Yeah, actually, yeah, it could be good with Bruiser. I'll give you that. Yeah, it could be useful with Bruiser. I didn't really think about that interaction. I think that Tumbler feet wraps are probably better in general, but it could be used with that. Or Mjolnir, yep. Yeah, you can pair it with like one of those elemental weapons and it would be okay, but like you don't want to run bow and medium. Like that never really made sense because bow's about creating distance, so you kind of want the light dodge. Any transmog fixes? Uh, I'm not really sure. I hope they add more glass stuff, but they probably won't. Time to kill died with everyone gaining plus 4k HP. Yeah. 5%, not even a full tick. Is this stackable? Potency of outgoing dots are increased by 15. Hitting one with your dot will extend the duration of them by 5% with a 1 second cooldown. No, that's not stackable. Yeah, that doesn't sound insane, does it? But like you still probably just want to run it so that you have the outgoing dot effect that's increased. Like a 15% dot duration extension is just like very good. That other perks like not nearly as useful. But like it's really good for like two builds, like Fire Staff and like Poison Shot spammy bow, which like shouldn't be a thing, but like is a thing. And will probably be pretty good in open world. Hasted Vigor, potency of incoming damage over time effects is reduced by 7% per armor piece with this perk. So that's like an anti-dot thing. That's like basically like Vigor. And taking a hit while inflicted with a dot will grant 10% haste. Yeah, oh yeah, this is the 10% haste thing. So you probably just want to run it for the 10% haste because dots are pretty consistent. Like this is just like kind of a must-have. Unimpeded is kind of sick. Oh yeah, potency of slows are reduced by 30% as long as you've not been exhausted within the last 10 seconds. Yeah, this is really nice in some circumstances. The part where it's not good, like this won't ever be useful in war because if you are like the potency of slows is reduced. Oh no, potency is reduced by 30%. Would that reduce ice storm? Yeah, it would. So reduce the slow amount and wouldn't reduce the duration. Yeah, if it reduces the amount, it's actually really good. If it reduces the duration, it's not useful. If it reduces the amount, though, no, it's really good. But like, also, if it's like a 10% slow, 30% of a 10% slow isn't that much. And the main thing is that you won't be able to sprint. Um, but it doesn't sound bad. Or penetrating the empowered. Critical hits against empowered players will have 10% armor penetration, reduce the duration of empowers on them by 7%. That's kind of insane. Just because it gives you armor pen. Armor pen's like actually really useful in a lot of spots. It's be really good with light since getting slowed if touched by anything. Yeah, for unimpeded. Yeah, it could be. I feel like with light, if you're getting slowed, you're just not positioned well at the same time. And like if you use an ability, abilities aren't affected by slows, so like that's why rapier is so OP in terms of living, because your rapier abilities distance is not affected by slows that you have on you, so you can just use that to create a distance and then just pop stone form later on. Can have that and pen backstab, but that's insane if you could have penetrating the empowered and pen backstab. That's crazy. Huge news. What happened? Deadlock servers are now up 24/7. Dude, let's go. We could play past 3 a.m. There's a balance patch today for Deadlock too, right? I haven't looked at the balance patch notes. DJ hours. Oh, that's funny. GG Bruisers. Yeah, no, Bruisers are gonna get chonked. Like Spear's just gonna hit so hard. Oh god. Thorny Reflection, PvP only. Taking a critical hit will reflect nature damage back at the target equivalent to 7% of your weapon damage and reduce the attacker's crit chance by 10%. That second part doesn't matter The 1 second cooldown on this actually might kill the perk. I'm not gonna lie, this 1 second cooldown kind of kills the perk. If this is 1 second per person, it doesn't kill the perk. If it's 1 second cooldown between activations, it kills the perk. Uh, at least that's how I view it. Like it's this is good in a 1v1 situation, no. Like in the open world 1v1, which is basically what the PvP island's intended to be, it could be good. Deadlock queue is about to be 1 hour long. They're not ever that long. I think the longest deadlock queue I've had is like maybe 30 seconds. Like deadlock is like really, really low queue right now. It's very popular. Empowering cleave, PvP only, hitting 2 players with a single melee attack grants you empower, increasing damage for your next 2 hits within 5 seconds by 20%. Uh, sounds like it won't really be that insane to me. Yeah, this doesn't sound that insane. Cause like weapons that like cleave multiple people is like already a short list, like with an auto attack. Like it mostly reminds me of Great Axe, and like you're already at empower cap with Great Axe when you go Maulers and then you go Tumbler Feet Wrap, so like why would I use this? Yeah, alt charge over Thorny Reflection. Yeah, that's what I think about for Thorny Reflection too, but the 1 second cooldown on it is like kind of long, and it's only 1 tick of damage versus like something like a dot effect would be like 3 ticks of damage, if that makes sense. So like the amount of ult charge will matter for if this is good or not, but like the ult charge part is like how I read that perk. It's not actually a good damage perk for the most part. Yeah, they basically removed grit. This is probably the biggest change that's happened. I think they changed one or two of the other effects on here. I just forget which ones. Uh, I know they changed the text on some of these, so like they like there's like a base damage related thing for the health one now, and it didn't say that before. Yeah, 10% of base value versus increased by 10%. And I think that's like in theory could be a really big nerf. Assuming health actually worked off the max value, not the base value, which I believe it worked off the max value before. But I kind of want to test that. What about interruptible berserk hatchet? I haven't really gone through individual weapon stuff to look at those, but like if you have hatchet, yeah, you have grit, so that's like really nice. You could still strip it with like Void Gauntlet, but you're not going to see Void Gauntlet in like 90% of the world of New World. So yeah, hatchet actually sounds really nice for that. Hatchet, you can still go like you can probably hit what 200 con, 300 dex or something stupid like that, and you could hit like relatively high in strength. Yeah, you could do 150 strength, you could do 300 dex, and you could do 200 con, or you could do 150 con, uh, and then 200 strength, 200 dex, or something like that. Like you can kind of get weird with it. Or no, is it more than that? Because you have 650 stats, right? 200, 300, 150. Yeah, yeah, that's what I was thinking. 200, 300, 150. Yeah, 200, 300, 150. Hatchet sounds really scary. I'm not gonna lie. Hatchet Greatsword Assassin's about to go burr again. Yeah, it sounds like it would be really strong on paper. Because most of this like high-end strength stuff is kind of useless. I'm not gonna lie. Like 7% base damage and under 90% health. Like that's not that good. Like it's okay. Like 10% base damage increased abilities in the final attack of a light melee chain. Like, eh. Like the ability part's okay, but everything else is eh. Strength tree is trash. Int tree is insane. Welcome to New World. Yeah, that's been one of the problems. Dex is really good, but it's only because of like 300 perk or 300 Dex. Oh, they changed the PvE perk. Focus. This looks the same. I'm not gonna lie, with Flail, I'm probably gonna go back to using 350 focus again. Like, I'm probably just gonna go like 350, 300. Or do you even need 300 with Flail at this point? Like, I don't even know if you need 300 with Flail. Like, you probably can go like 350, like 50, 200 or something like that, or something weird. But this is actually like really, really nice with Flail because you get ult really, really fast. But I know there's like 3 Flail players in the entire game, so it doesn't apply to most people. Musket about to go 350, 305. Yeah. every time Musket's just like, ooh, I can keep 5 con and I can get more damage. Musket's about to be one-shotting each other. Dude, this map is gonna be a collab lobby, I'm not gonna lie. It's gonna be frightening too. People are just gonna get one-tapped. The new flail artifact is Biss in your opinion? Oh yeah, it's easily Biss. It's not like perfect, but it's really, really good. Yo, what's up? Is the great sword or is the gear score bug fixed? I wanted to test that in game, but like I don't know if I want to do that today. Last time I checked, it wasn't completely fixed. They said it was fixed. I looked at it and I was like, huh, this isn't completely fixed. But I don't know if I care enough to like tell AGS they didn't fix it again. Um, and I kind of left it there. But I'm pretty sure if you use a low gear score offhand, you still do increasing damage on your main hand and you still take less damage. So in my opinion, that's still bugged. But I don't know if it's actually better to like drop your gear score in terms of everything. If that makes sense. Like you always want your main hand to be as high gear score as possible so it does more damage. I think your offhand you still want to be as low as gear score as possible. But then you lose stats also, so there's like kind of a give and take there. So I don't know, I kinda have to play with it, but last time I checked it was still worth it to lower your gear score. Bruiser say since day one it's hard out here. Yup. Grid and light attacks is one of the biggest problems in this game, and I can't believe they got rid of it. Yeah, I mean it was the grit, like to me I don't like CC, I don't like stagger in games, but like it kind of killed half of the mechanics of the new world because then you were just like playing around like timing stuff when people didn't have a light attack up, and it was really annoying. Like if I wanted to do a knockdown and flow, I had to wait for people to not have a light attack, and it was like, ugh. Put thrust resist on the wall. God, I do not want to sacrifice my wall for that. As if the flail didn't already have enough weaken. Yeah, the flail has a ton of weaken. I mean, the main thing with the flail, right, was like this weaken on the arcane smite was bugged at first, and like it wouldn't actually apply unless like people were hit with the initial thing. Like if you ran in and out, the weaken never applied. I think it's down here. Like this weekend was not working when the flail first came out, and then they fixed that, and then it was like, okay, flail has a shit ton of weekend, and then they're just adding more. So we're kind of back in a spam flail meta. This is not my active flail tree. Like if I were to make a flail tree, it would be. I still like Vortex a lot, but in solo queue I never run Vortex, but large scale I love Vortex. Like I think this is what I was running recently. Like something like this, but it's been a bit. Even then, like that part was like not really like you didn't have to run that. Like there are variants of this, but like this was like the base setup of like what you ran last time I played the game. Everything else is like kind of optional. I guess this perk's kind of optional too. But yeah, for any flow people, you can kind of play with that. Actually, 325, 325, because we all know they'll use Magnify Gear Troll for a week and then quit. Yeah, all the console players, or like all the new players. I don't think people really go to the PvP island because it's mostly Magnify stuff. Like the PvP island to me sounds like a complete and utter failure, like waiting to happen for like multiple reasons. I would not be surprised if the PvP island turns into the Mafia within Albion. If people are familiar with an Albion, I'll probably get that reference. But like in Albion, there's like shops that you can individually have to sell stuff, and there's a group called they call themselves the Mafia, and all they do is they basically just downgrade your shop because there's mechanics to downgrade people's shops if they don't pay them. And I would not be surprised if it's the same system where you have to pay for like protection from the Musket Union if you go to this island because there's only 3 ways in and 3 ways out. PvP island's the only way to get non-magnify gear. The PvP island gear is not that good. The life staff, there's Abyss life staff, and then there's another life staff that doesn't roll with anything that's useful. A lot of the PvP island gear, like from the crates, like it had Keen locked or had Vicious locked, which effectively makes it useless. Join a guild or get camped. Yeah, kind of one of those. But you can't put a camp in this zone, right? So it's just like, I don't know. Like all you have to do if you want to take over this zone is you just control uh this entrance, you control this entrance, and then like maybe like one down here or something like that. And if you control like this, like those 3 spots, like no one can get in or out, and then you just basically own the economy there. But like I don't know if anyone really cares enough in the world to do that. But like this is like super super easy to manipulate, and it doesn't make sense why AGS kind of went through it this way. The shrine. I mean, yeah, you could shrine camp too. Like that'd be another way to do it. Because you have to come out flagged, I'm guessing, to get into the PvP island. Oh, you're saying this? You spawn at the shrine. Oops. Yeah, I'm not reading again. Caught me. Uh, yeah. Like that's. I don't know. It's gonna be interesting. To go back to the data mining part. That's the wrong section of code. Artifacts ability table. This looks like they just updated a bunch of random backend stuff on status effect applied. So that's just a new tag that they added. None of this looks that useful. Yeah, no. This vitals thing isn't really used, but it's been present since the game came out. So that's not anything there. This backstory stuff. Base vitals CK. Okay, so these are just things that they added. Like mobs that they added. Yeah, a lot of the 725 armor is magnify. Yeah, but the problem with the PvP randomly rolled crate drops is like it has stats that come with it, no? Like it comes with Keen. No? Like if I go to here, I think there was something for PvP. Like I was looking at this stuff. And if we look at this, then oh yeah, I guess it is completely random. No, you're right. But the perk tables for some of these are really cursed. Like if you look at the life staff one, like the life staff perks that it can generate are like damage perks. And there's no blessed. Like you can't get blessed on the PvP island life staff for some reason. But it doesn't really matter because there's another BIS PvP island life staff. Yeah, those chests, that's the only non-magnify armor. Nice. I should look at uh kind of hopping back and forth. I kind of want to look at like what perks you can get on the new pieces that are completely random. Like if there's anything else, or if it's just the ones we already looked at. It looks like it's just the ones we already looked at. Contagious upheaval. Hitting a target transfers 2 active debuffs from yourself to the target. Oh, that's the new sword ability. That looked like it was broken last time I saw it. Yeah, all this stuff is just weapon perk things. Yeah, there's not really anything new here. Wow, that thorny reflection is a lot. Oh, the health is off base value now? Did they really kill health? Oh my god. Holy shit, they nerf. Wow. That is such a big nerf to health. Yeah, you just don't use health anymore. Like, ever. Wait, that's good though. I mean, yeah, but like, it's like, that's one of those things where it's like, you just like slap yourself in the face and it's just like, oh, that's just like an AGS moment right there. For reference, base health in this game, I don't know why they picked this number, by the way, but it's 8,024. Like, that's base health. So if I have like 2.4% of 8,024, so each health perk is giving me like 200 health. So like, why would I ever run health? Like, health is, I don't even know if I'd use health on, oh god, is it like this on Amulet too? Oh no. What's the amulet called that's really OP that everyone uses that I forget the name of right now? Um, yeah, Onk. Because Onk has it, right? Oh no! Not Onk! No! Oh no, my boy. They massacred him. Goodbye, Onk. Yeah, that's sad to see. Yeah. God, they massacred my boy. That's what I'm saying. It's literally the Godfather quote. 561 health. Oh, yeah, it's not gonna be used at all anymore. I'm glad health isn't a mandatory perk anymore. I don't think it was like ever mandatory except for like SNS, like tanky SNS, and I've had that stance for a while. But it was definitely very good for light players. In particular. I mean, it was just a decent generic perk that helps increase survivability a lot in cases where you weren't being healed. But if you considered that you were popping like potions, health didn't really make sense in Monte Carlo simulation. Which Monte Carlo is just a way to account for a bunch of different variables, which is like most of that analysis I did was effectively a Monte Carlo simulation. If it wasn't mandatory, but it was a base generic perk. Yeah, it was a really good perk. You're not using that anymore, though. Damn. Okay. Did they add anything? I want to go back to this and then look at like legs and stuff and see if they add anything there. Okay, let me rephrase it. 95% of people ran health on their amulet. Yeah, that's true. That's true. 95% of people did run health on their amulet. And now you are definitely not going to be running health on like anything. But yeah, I got a new background. It's kind of nice. I don't know if you guys can see that. No, you can't. Wait, no, you can. Yeah. Star Wars stuff. Um, the bottom part's the same as before. The top part. Oh, you can RNG shirking heals now. That's cool. But it might just be for this PvP island stuff. See, shirking heals works off max health. It's not off base health. Shirking heals is still pretty good. uh, the old shirking heals cheese. Did they change stam recovery? Yeah, they nerfed stam recovery a lot to the point where it's like, I don't know if it's not viable, but it's like, it's barely useful. So what do you even go on an amulet now? If I look at like an old amulet or something like that. I don't know. What's the, is it Gorgon amulet? Or Gorgon's amulet? Like what options do you even have on these nowadays? Like honestly, I think divine is basically just as good as health in a lot of circumstances. And then you definitely go with protection. Do you go unimpeded? Huh. I guess you do. Like, yeah. Like, I probably do this. Divine protection, shirking, and power, maybe. Yeah, you could do shirking and power too. Like, divine's just really good because it also works off your healing potions, right? And it works off of lifesteal, works off of people healing you. Like, it multiplies everything by 10%. So it's like, it's similar to how health was. Like, there was an argument before that for some builds, you should use divine over health. And, like, now it's just like, okay, I'll just use divine, I guess. With you being exhausted, do not proc unimpeded. Yeah, that's the problem with it. Alchemist Reprieve. I mean, Alchemist Reprieve's really good for cheese builds. So, like, if you do this, and then you, like, say you ran Alchemist Reprieve, Divine, and a Protection, and then let me go back to here and look at artifacts, and then look at, it's the Earring artifact. That's what I'm looking for. Endless Thirst. If you do this combo, it's, like, insane. Also, what's my final perk option here? Anything new? Not really. Okay. But like Endless Thirst and like going for Divine and Alchemist Reprieve is like you basically just heal your entire HP bar. And then you can combo that with the new chest piece, and then you have like a built-in like kind of stam recovery, and then you just heal for a shit ton every time you pop a pot. So that sounds insane. Um they killed health, it's base health now. Yeah, so base health is 8,024, and there's no way to increase that. So health, and they didn't increase health's value, so health is like a dead perk. Um, this actually kind of sounds like a cooked build. I'm not gonna lie, like it's like kind of decent for solo queue or like solo stuff alone. Like you go Survivor's Coat, you go Endless Thirst, and then you go Amulet with Divine, a Protection, and then Alchemist Reprieve. So then you kind of like have the stam recovery. You have a Purify effect. Did they ever buff Purify cooldown, by the way? Uh, Wait, they just removed Purify from the pool. Why is Purify not in this pool? Huh. Okay. That's cool, I guess. Um, but like this combo sounds pretty good. Just as heavy, so it's probably hard for some builds to fit in. Yeah, I mean, you can only run this for medium or heavy weights. But like that's like a really good base like cheese combo to help in solo queue a lot. That's an OPR build for real, for real. Yeah, I mean, it's also a good build for that island, right? Like, it's not bad for that either. I would rather have Alchemist Reprieve plus Endless Thirst over Ankh. Yeah, like at this point. I mean, Ankh isn't even good for solo queue unless you like run a bunch of shirking and shirking heals because it multiplies that effect. But like, I don't think I would run Ankh in a lot of situations right now. Bro, I'm glad I won't need my set anymore. I have full health. Oh my god, you could trash the entire set if you have full health. It's literally not useful. Uh, so this is kind of fun to look at. This is just to make people cry. So if I have one health, right? I get like basically 200. If I run five of that, so if you run a full set of health, you gain like 1,000 HP, and that's it. Uh, yeah, don't run health. Health is doo doo. Really doo doo. Did they actually get rid of Purify, by the way? Surely they didn't get rid of Purify. It's just not in that pool, right? Right? I don't know. Actually might have got rid of Purify. I'm not gonna lie. It's still on some of the artifacts though. Yeah. Weird. You think people are gonna run Phoenix at all in that PvP island? It's kind of a funny thing to run into PvP island because you get like an extra life. And then if you kill your opponent, then you're just good. Probably craftable, but not on a drop pool. Yeah, something like that. The Griefer's Bite. Yeah. 5 con musket, second chance. The people who want to survive will run code, I guess. Yeah, I mean, you could run both, but yeah, no, the coat perk sounds really good. Like as a solo survivability thing. And I lost it, but Survivor's coat sounds really good. Okay, why is everyone looking at the Warhammer? Like, no, this is terrible. Like, do people just you just look at this like this is awful. Why is this popular? Like it shouldn't be popular. The skin, it looks nice. Okay, fine. The skin looks okay. But like I linked it to people showing how bad AGS is. Oh. Okay, yeah, it is a good skin. Like objectively, that is a good skin. But it's still an awful weapon. Like what about Grace? Like Grace is not a good skin, surely, right? Okay, that's actually kind of a cool skin. But like Grace is horrible compared to the other great sword. People really just care about skins. Is that what we've come to? Wait, life staff got 2 bis life staffs? Oh hell no. Why'd they get 2? What the hell? Like both of these are bis. I'm actually tilted. Transmog is the real end game. Real because there's no other content. Dude, people go hard at the RP stuff with transmogs. I'm not gonna lie. This is where the Hope Light stuff comes from. Yeah. Okay, that makes more sense. But it's all Magnify too, right? Yeah, this is all Magnify. Oh my god, they are gonna force so many people to do this raid. Okay. Life stuff always getting 2 bis. Yeah, no, Life stuff has 2 new bis. Like Life stuff is set. Oh, what the hell? I found this yesterday and I was like, what is this? Uh, I don't think anyone else really got a new bis. This bow thing is like annoying, but it's not bis. The Sandalion stuff is just funny. Oh, the Sandworm dropped 710 gear score? Really? Huh. Did they make it harder? You can't get 725 from this, right? Miko, have you seen that life staff that heavies push people back now? Yeah, I know about that. I haven't gone through that part yet, but yeah. It can be upgraded to 725? Really? Oh yeah, you're right. It can be. Okay. I'm not gonna lie, in the video I'm putting out tomorrow, I think I lied to people about that, complaining that they have 2 raids and they only used one of them, and they actually updated the stuff for the other one. Oh well, I'll just look out like an idiot for a day. It's the keenly empowered pants. Yeah, I know. There's so many like illegal things with this. Yeah, the keenly empowered pants are insane. Like, why is this a thing? The chest piece is terrible, but the keenly empowered pants are really good. The keen speed heavy boots are honestly insane too. But like, surely they fix that, right? Is the 50 dex and 100 dex perk nerfed? I can't tell if it's just wording. They edited the wording for a lot of the stuff. It's not, most of the stuff isn't actually nerfed. I can go to side by side for that though. So if we go to this, and then we do a little bit of this, and then we go to dexterity. No, yeah, it's the same. Whenever they said damage, it was actually base damage the whole time, but they weren't like really descriptive about it. And then it was really confusing if something was like damage or empower. And they actually did like this is one thing I'll give credit to ADS too. They actually did a good job like updating that stuff. Like in most other games I've played, they just don't update that. It's like lingo that you either like have to know or you just won't understand how the game works. And they actually made it more consistent. So props to them for that. Look up Slinkin something. Silken. Oh, there's multiple sets? Huh. Why are healers so spoiled? Like, healers are actually just so spoiled, man. Like, oh my god. No, that's ridiculous. They actually, yeah, they actually do get everything this patch. I'm actually tilted. Not enough healer players. They can't make it too hard to get this. Apparently. Apparently that is a thing. Are there any other sets that are like OP from here? Enchanted Ward, Elemental Aversion. So that's going to be OP. They really did they make the mutator stuff like literally useless, by the way? Or am I missing something? Like the only thing useful about that's the dark matter now? Like the gear's not actually useful? Like surely that's an oversight, right? Like surely? As far as we could tell, mutations are useless. Wow, okay. You could also buy dark matter with the balloons. I am like one of those people that like will never need dark matter ever again because I've warlogged too much, but like I feel bad for people that like need it because it's just like a pain in the ass to get. But I also haven't warlogged in like a month-ish. And I think I stopped streaming those wars too because they're like kind of boring. But yeah, no, healers get a lot of this stuff, and that's the sandworm drops are like kind of broken. Does that mean like the random stuff that drops from the sandworm too you can upgrade? Like this? Oh yeah, you could upgrade this. Yeah. At least I assume you can because you could drag the bar to the right. M3s weren't even played much that now they won't be at all. Yeah. Huh. Where are we at with our build, Mikro? Are we getting fucked? Oh, for tanks? No, tanks are like chilling. Like they buffed the hell out of SNS for zero reason again, if I remember correctly. Uh, I just forget where it is. I saw screenshots and it scared me, but I forget what they changed. Oh yeah, one with the shield grants a bonus based on what type of shield type is equipped. If it's a tower shield, then the durations of all buffs is extended by 5 seconds, and I don't think that there's an internal cooldown for this. But that's something I need to look at. And it won't show up here. Oh, could I look at it? Oh wait, I know how to do this. I can do nerd things. Uh can I do nerd things? Oh no, I can't. No. Please? Please? Yes. Okay, this is the hidden tag. I need to actually look it up. uh Do you have an internal cooldown? Please tell me you do not have an internal cooldown. Please tell me. No internal cooldown. You know you don't want to have an internal cooldown so that I could abuse the heck out of you and have unlimited fortify forever. Um, I don't see an internal cooldown. Yeah, that's kind of broken. Okay. Yeah, tanks are good for a while. The other funny part about this is if a BB ever hits you, that just extends everything by the amount of pellets that hit you from the BB. So, like, if a BB has, like, 6 pellets standardly and it shoots you and you have this, then you extend the duration of all your buffs by 30%. Um, so yeah, Sturdy Energy just got really good. Or, not energy, fortification. Like, the fortification, like, every time you get hit and block something, like, that got really good all of a sudden. Yeah, like there's usually like a 0.1 that's baked into here if there's a cooldown on there, and I don't see a cooldown. Um, yeah, okay, that's good. Yeah, no, tanks are fine. Because this is OP. Is there anything else that changed for tanks? I don't think anything that major. Like, you got upheaval, which is like utterly broken in terms of a DPS thing, but it's not really useful for tanks. That would mean someone uses BB, and when has that happened? Yeah, no one uses BB. Resolve change? Oh, right. Yeah, this thing. This is no change to a tank, but it's a change to other builds. Oh, no, it is a buff. Because before you had to be like above 50% health or something like that, right? Now the gold grinding is replaced by mindlessly running any ad 25 times. Yeah, now it's going to be doing a raid a bunch. I mean, I'd rather do a raid than a mutation. 20% what the freak? I mean, it was that before. This is like one of the best abilities in the game in the current patch. But like, I didn't make a video about it because like, who's playing the game right now? Like I used it when I was like ringing for tank, but like, and like half the tanks didn't, and I was just confused why half the tanks weren't using it because the way that the reason why they made this broken is it procs immediately. So what you can do is like, say I'm about to get stunned and I know I'm about to get stunned, I could pop Defender's Resolve. The stun will knock me out of the Defender's Resolve animation, and I'll get the entire buff. So I can like iframe like the stuns and just get the buff, and if someone hits me after I get stunned, the stun goes away. So you basically just could proc this instantly in PvP, which made it really good. How much gold drops from running dungeons? Yeah, yeah. That's how people that's how people make money with the gold and sell gold now. Wait, they removed grit from the attribute, but it added to the Great Axe passives. Yeah. Uh, Great Axe is not gonna be that fun to play next patch. It'll be okay, but it won't be fun. Do they change any other thing with Great Axe? Doesn't look like it. Yeah, no. Oh yeah, you lose your base damage reduction too because you don't have grit active half the time. Heh. Unironically, like maybe just go Whirlwind because Whirlwind has grit. Uh, Buffing Firestaff and SNS. Obviously, Dave is gone. Dave might be dead. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, now we're starting to get into some of the juicy stuff. The Firestaff one's really fun for people that haven't seen it. Uh, okay, so it has grit when you're casting Meteor Shower, and then Meteor Shower applies disease, which reduces incoming healing, and yeah, Meteor Shower has a passive disease effect. And the thing about this is a disease aura, right? So like, say I was in a war and I was inside of an ice shower. If I was inside of an ice shower and I popped a cleanse pot, the ice shower effect actually still applies to you. even though you pop the cleanse pot. So you still get slowed because you're inside like of an aura and it's not actively like a cleansable effect. Because this, I don't think it'll be coded similarly and it won't be an immediately cleansable effect. I'm pretty sure this disease doesn't get countered by cleanse pot, which makes fire stop instantly like S tier for war because you pop this in any clump and then people have disease on them that they can't get rid of. And then it's also baked into the meteor shower perk, right? Someone said this. I think I spelled meteor and meat tor. Yeah, I did that. This is why I'm not an English major. Where's, is it here? Why does it look wrong? No, someone lied to me. It's not baked into the meteor shower perk. Yeah, meteor shower is just kind of silly next patch. That perk isn't. Yeah, no, it's not baked into meteor shower though. But it's insane because of the disease and it's gonna be passive. So it's like you just have to throw this in every clump you hit. Like if you're not, you're throwing. Clump fighting will always be a thing as long as wars are based around point control. Not sure how they don't understand that. Yeah, it will be. I mean, I feel like clump fighting isn't necessarily a bad thing either. But I think the main thing I need to take away from war is I need to put cleanse pot as a craftable thing that you can pop in any mode. Like maybe that's a hot take, but like I feel like cleanse should be like a thing that you can use. I know the NDA community brought that up to AGS, and then AGS like did not like the idea of giving everyone cleanse, but like the game is actually just so much worse when you don't have cleanse, or it just feels worse. Actually, it might not change much because Bruiser's already a hammer heavy snooze fest. I mean, yeah, you're just gonna use hammer for that, and you're gonna use the great axe for abilities. Like that's the only thing it changes. The weird part about the great axe now is like, say I'm trying to build Mauler's Fury. Anytime I do like an attack, I could just get like knocked on the ground or something like that by like a spear. So it's like I don't know if Great Axe necessarily like wins in all those scenarios anymore. Like Spear might just be better. And then like the Spear abilities also have grit built into them, and Spear gets cooldown so much faster because of passives. Like I don't know. Like to me, Spear seems like it's kind of insane, but it's like always been insane. Yeah, like yeah, you have grit with Tenacious Sweep. So like you could just pop sweep and then you can just counter anyone that's doing a light attack. Like that's kind of stupid. Or you can like javelin someone, and that's also kind of stupid. Cyclone's still broken. Uh, it's less broken than it used to be. I mean, it looks fine. Like it's still a lot of stamina and a giant slow and a giant heal. So I would say, yeah, it's like very good. Like the main thing about Spear is like until aggressive maneuvers is nerfed, like Spear is just insane. So like as long as you play for aggressive maneuvers, his Spear's insane. Like you can watch bad Spear VODs though, and like Spear players that don't know what they will literally just like this even happens like in the top like war spears. Like half the war spears that are playing now, they don't actually dodge between attacks, so they don't get aggressive maneuvers off and they don't go infinite. And the ones that have been playing for a while like take their time to get a dodge and just go infinite. And they just do so much more. Like how they kill everything in the game because 725 only comes from the new PvP zone and the new raid. Yeah, that's the really fun part. Someone told me that there's like a an OPR crate that you can get once per week that like gives you shit that's like actually useful. But I kind of feel like I was lied to because I haven't found it. Miko, do you think the grit removal will be fine if 300 strength, 300 con gave grit on melee abilities? See, that's what it used to do. It used to do that on the NDA build, and I think they removed the ability part because someone found something broken, but I don't know what they found. Morning, mate, from the UK. Dang, it's morning over there. That's nuts. Morning. I have a hard stop in an hour or two, by the way, so we have a little bit more time to look at things. It's the general vibe of the patch, good or bad? Uh, very different. I'd say the overall vibe is bad because you're forced to either do this PvP island thing or raids, and nothing else in the game seems to have any value pertaining to the end game. So, I don't know. We have to be missing something, right? No shot M3 is just useless. I don't think there's anything to miss. Like it's just dark matter. Like that's what you get from them. Like they want to make people do the raid, and this makes people do the raid. The stupid part is like if you can't get end game related rewards from a piece of content, no one's gonna do it. So they like effectively kill off like half the stuff they're doing. And like, say you're a new player and you're going to an existing server and you want to get an artifact, like good luck. Like that's not gonna happen. Like no one's gonna be wanting to run those. It already is a thing where like no one really wants to run the dungeons for artifact stuff on the current build of the game. But I don't know, maybe it'll be okay for a week or two. The same shit's gonna happen. They're just gonna mess up the back end calculations, and half the new changes will be broken. Yeah, I don't know. Forced to do raids, basically one random rolled 725 a week from PvP Island takes literally hundreds of hours to get a single piece of 3 perk bis. I mean, the other thing too is like, I don't know if there's a large difference between 725 and 700. That's, oh god, where's gear score scaling in here? How do I find this? This is a weird thing to find. Um, I can look at an artifact. I want to see if they change the gear score scaling amount and make it so. Wait, why am I even looking at this? I can just drag the bar on New World Database. I don't even have to do any of this stuff, right? Yeah. Um. Okay. I think I know what I'm gonna do. So I'm just trying to see how much 725 matters compared to 700. And I need something that is 700 that can go to 725, which is only artifacts. But there is no drag bar in the stupid artifact thing because you can only upgrade it. Oh, but I can compare the two values. Oh, I know what I'm doing. Okay. Uh yeah. Okay. Wait, what? Why does Oh, they didn't fix this. Cuz the 725 thing here, it links to a 700. But I can compare the values and just see how much like the armor increased and then like do stuff from that. Uh, so that's 828.9, and then right now it's 7. Oh, that's a big increase. Oh. Yeah, you're gonna want the yeah, you're gonna want that. Uh, yeah, that's a lot. Yeah, it's like 4%. Yeah, you're gonna want that. So you get 4% more armor if you just go from 700 to 725, which should apply to everything. So then that would be like maybe 10% more armor. Like you figure like about that much more damage. So yeah, you definitely want the 725 stuff. The only thing is I don't know if you want your offhand to be 725. Like I think you want your offhand to be as low as possible. Uh, that might be worth testing in the current game. See if there's a new world update, and then I can test on someone. And that was a thing for a video today. So what I want to do is I want to see if they fix this gear score scaling bug, because I'm pretty sure they didn't. But if they did, that would be important. Mikura, the best part of this is the attributes. Yeah, the attribute bonuses are going to be very weird. Also, you misread what I said earlier. It takes an average hundreds of years to get Abyss drop from a PvP island. Right, because it's complete RNG. Yeah, no, you're right. Because it's literal RNG and everything else contains Magnify, which means you're limited to having. Yeah, you're gonna have to go like 625 or sorry, 325, 325, which is just like a terrible split. I could hop on Marama if you need. Yeah, something like that. I also like that they like changed like that New World thing so that like it takes longer to load. And like now every time I boot up New World, I have to like hit the wait button. Oh, I actually didn't have to do it this time. Normally I have to hit like the wait button because Windows thinks that New World is running so poorly that the game crashed. But now I just have a black screen. This game's great. Uh Come fighting without grit will be weird. The stream did not crash, by the way. This is just New World being New World. This is just how it loads for me. Yeah, Crush, if you get a Marama, I just want to test the stupid thing. In beta, a tournament I'm logging in 2 times faster. Oh, the beta's already out? That's good. That it's faster. Oh, you can go to main menu. Oh, okay. The box you're looking for from the PvP zone is crafted called Apex Gold Curse Magic Weapon Crate. Oh yeah, it's the different crates. Uh, yeah, the life staff is BIS. The gold one, the normal life staff, is like utterly useless. Okay. Do I have the low gear score thing on this character? Yeah. Yeah, we could use that. Is this gonna drop my con, hopefully? Yeah, okay. Yeah, Crush, if you can come on Marama, I can test this with you real quick. I'm pretty sure you still deal more damage and take less damage if you lower the gear score of your offhand. But I didn't really want to make a video about it at the time. Once we're dead, Sag. Oh, it's so dead. Just need to report numbers and not change anything, right? Make sure I'm not 250 con. Yeah, that's it. $50 is still a really long time to get into the beta, and you have to take into consideration that the hardware on consoles is much worse than PC players. So, yeah. So, Crush, I need to hit you, and then you need to hit me, and I need to... I'm messing up all my keybinds, because the keybinds for every game I play now are different. Shit, I can't put it in a con. Could I put it in a, like, int? Because that doesn't matter. Do something like this. Yeah, what if I do, like, that or something weird? And then I just hit you with the flail. Like, that should work. So I need you to hit me, and then I'll hit you, and then we can record damage. The health change is so funny. So that's a crit. So 573 is my damage to you. Yeah, and then you do damage to me. So 197. Okay. And then if I were to end the duel, I forgot where my F2 key is. I got a different keyboard. And then put on the 200 gear score offhand. And then duel you again. I'm pretty sure I'll do more damage and take less damage. So 619. So yeah, I'm doing more damage and then do damage to me. 187. Yeah, yeah, that's still broken. So yeah, you still want the lowest gear score offhand, by the way. Like I meant to make a video on this, but I didn't care about New World at the time. Is it just offhand? Uh, it's definitely offhand. I don't really know about the armor stuff. The armor stuff's like kind of more ass to test, to be honest. Because you have to have the same perks and like the same attribute stuff. But offhand's like always just been, yeah, just slap on a lower gear score offhand and you'll just do better. Yeah, I love New World. But you have to see that you lost your attributes. Yeah, that's the other consideration too. So I could test that too with the attribute part, right? So need to end the duel. But I didn't lose that many attributes. I went from like what? I lost like 30 attributes there. What modes does this even happen in? 3 is OPR. In OPR, it happens if you remove your offhand. And 3 is it matters if you remove your offhand. It happens in open world. So this is a thing that like affects wars. The problem is last time I brought up this exploit, which I guess I just did it again. Every war player hated me. So I'm sorry. But yeah. Because it's just like, it's so annoying to play with this bug. Like, it's so stupid. And like, AGS just doesn't fix shit. So it's like, I don't know. Kind of give up. Yeah, War OPR or OPR will up the gear score, same with 3v3, but if you don't have an offhand, it won't up the gear score because you just don't have an offhand on. But yeah, like if I were to, so I guess what I can do is like I had a 100 200, right, or something like that. And oh wait, no, I've got to reduce this. So I could do the same thing, but then just like increase my attributes by like 38. Because that's the difference. And then I can do damage to crush, and then I can reduce my attributes so, or I can change the attributes so that they're the same or something like that. Oh, wait, no, I'm doing this wrong actually, crush. What I need to do is I need to just do less damage, right? That's our goal. So I need to have 30 less attributes with my current setup. Because this is 8, and then this is 38, so I need to have 30 less. Crush, I need to, like, give you ad block. You're too useful. I think that requires giving you money. And Jeffrey Bezos is already rich. So how do I do this? So I need to respec. I need to stop pressing B. Oh my god. So I'll just go to 150 on here, and then I'll go 100, and then I'll hit crush, and then I'll increase my attributes when I increase my gear score, and then that will test the damage part effectively. So 556. And then if I put on this, which I can't do right now because New World loves me. Why am I in combat? I should not be in combat. Why is this bug still in the game? Okay, cool. And then we increase this by 30, right? Because I would gain 30 more attributes. And then I hit crush again. Then we can compare the damage. So then we can compare attributes versus non-attributes. So that's 553. So it's pretty close. That's pretty close. but you still do more damage and you take less damage by running a like you take less damage too by running the low gear score offhand, right? So it's like, and you do more damage. Like if you hit an attribute threshold, it might be worth running the higher gear score stuff, but it seems like at least for offhands, it's still better to run the lower gear score. I remember you testing at 200. Remember the 200 gear score items getting sold for the first time in a year? Yeah. Um, yeah, those are still this, but it's just stupid shit. Like I didn't really want to like. Yeah, I don't know why I brought it up again. I don't know. Today's been weird. It was 556 first, right? Yeah. My first value is on the left here. I don't know if you guys can see this. It's really small. So these are the values I did before, and then Crush's damage is on the right, mine's on the left, and then afterward, this is my damage before with the 8 gear score, and then this is, or sorry, with the 200 gear score item, and then this is the damage with like the higher gear score item. And then I increased my attributes so that it was appropriate for the item. So I did more damage with the lower gear score, and I'd take less damage too. That's not testing like armor stuff. I don't think I can really test armor stuff easily. I also just don't want to really test armor stuff. Like if I get back to like testing everything, then this is the part I did not like about New World, and it's one of the reasons why I wanted to like stop streaming it a bit. Because it's so boring to test every interaction in the game because AGS does not do it. And then I just feel weird. So yeah, I'm gonna get off of New World for now. Go back to data mining. But yeah, that's a fun thing. If AGS paid me, then I would not mind doing that. Well, I still would mind doing that because it's extremely boring, but I'd mind doing it less. But if I do not get paid, I do not really want to do that stuff. Will you stream the PTR patch when it drops or deadlock in between? Definitely deadlock. I do not care about the beta at all. It's going to level 30. Everything from the beta, from my perspective, if the experience is just made to go from level 0 to level 30, is utterly useless. And the only thing useful about the beta is the data mined. It's like kind of a harsh opinion, but like that's usually what happens with these betas. Is like the data mine comes out, everyone's really excited for the data mine, and then after New World database gets updated, like no one really cares a ton until the actual thing comes out. Like there's so many videos that could be made about like, oh, let's try to figure out how to optimize getting to 725 as fast as possible and like that kind of thing. But like I don't need the actual game to do that. Like I already have the data. Like there was a Reddit post recently and I replied to it and the guy did not understand what a data mine was and it was really funny. But yeah. That's enough proof to show it's chalked. Yeah, no. That's all I really cared for there. Good on the YouTube side in terms of questions. I don't have to look at that. Cool. It's fair, same as a DLC PTR when we can only start at level 0. Yeah, I mean, it's not fun. Like, I do not want to level up for the 12th time. Like, I do not... If AGS paid me to level up, I'd do it to level up, but, like, I'm not paid, so, like, who cares? uh... There's a football game on right now, too. Kind of want to watch that. Um... But, yeah, so there's new armor, there's some updates to some skills. Not really any updates to any artifacts. There's probably some new stuff that's BIS, but the end game loop, which I think this is the part we all care about, is still going to be boring because it's going to be doing raids and it's going to be doing this open world PvP and like a little bit of wars, but like OPR stuff is useless. So it's like people are going to be doing OPR for the fun of it, so I don't know if OPR queue is even going to pop. 3v3 is definitely not going to pop. Or wouldn't expect it to pop. And like from a PvE side, like the mutations are used to get artifacts, but other than that, like there's no reason to run them. So like why don't you just do M1s and like who cares about M2s and M3s at that point? Because in my opinion, endgame loop got significantly worse. Yeah, it did. It did. Like you went from doing like 15 unique things to be doing the sandworm or doing this endgame raid. And like say I'm like a super casual player and I do not want to do the raid and I don't want to do the PvP island. Like I guess you just don't hit 725 and you just do 10% less damage everywhere. Like I guess that's okay, but like it's kind of harsh. Not gonna lie, 3v3s might pop. Why? Because they're fun or because there's a drop for it? Because there's one thing I've learned about New World. If there's not a drop for something, no one does it. Or like if there's not a point, then like no one does an activity. And I'm not exactly sure why that is, but it's like historically been the case. They just put this dot effect on everything that's hoplite. Yeah, I guess they did. Huh. Okay. Oh, they didn't put it on a flail. What do you think about the stam recovery nerf? The stam recovery nerf is pretty harsh. I think we kind of went over amulet perks. Do I still have it open? Yeah, this is what I consider to be like pretty much like really good amulet perks. Like this Alchemist Reprieve is like something that you could switch through. But wait, stam recovery isn't even in this pool either. Dude, why'd they get rid of stam recovery from the pool? Okay, whatever. AGS is stupid, but that's been established. Um, it's good. It's a dead perk. Yeah, it basically is. They got rid of stam recovery. They got rid of purify from the amulet pool. Okay. But yeah, I don't think this is really useful because it's like you have to be below 50% health, which is like relatively common, and that was there before. And then you gain 60 stamina instead of like 100-ish. And it has a longer cooldown. So like, I don't know. Like people weren't even running stam recovery half the time in war, so like people realized that it wasn't 100% necessary. Like I think it's an okay perk, but like Gorgon's amulet with like other stuff is just like better. Like the cook that we had was you do the Chase build. Like if you guys haven't seen Chase's cheese, definitely check him out. He's done a lot of funny stuff. Like honestly, that might be worth watching on YouTube. Uh, Chase. Is it Chase? I think it's Chase. No, that's not the right guy. Oh shoot, I forgot the guy's name. There's a guy that put together a cheese build on this, and it was really funny. He made a really good video. Even with the health nerf, I still think Ankh is very strong. I mean, Ankh is strong. The other way that you can build stuff, right, is like, say you don't want health. Like, you can go Divine Alchemist Reprieve / Protection, and then you go for the Artifact Earring, which boosts your single target heal. You go Endless Thirst, right? So this boosts your consumables, but now my consumable is longer, right? Like, the cooldown's longer. And then after this, the cook is that you go for the new heavy artifact chest piece, which then gets rid of that cooldown if you get below a certain percent. So Survivor's Coat, this is basically stam recovery and purify, and your next healing pot cooldown is just gone. So then I could pop a pot and I could heal back up to full HP, basically. Like, Endless Thirst Endless Thirst seems better than Ankh right now. Like, I'd rather run, like, Gorgon Amulet. Like, you don't even need the Alchemist Reprieve. Like, you can go Unimpeded or something like that. Like, Unimpeded's a pretty good new ability. And then go Endless Thirst, which is an amazing earring. And then, like, go Survivor's Coat. And, like, you just have, like, an ultimate cheese build right there. The other alternative is you go, like, Shirking and Power or something like that instead of this. And, like, that's still, like, a really solid amulet. And the reason why you wouldn't want to go Ankh is because you wouldn't be able to get Shirking and Power and, like, Protection. And your health perk slot is, like, useless. Like, you could go Ankh, it doesn't seem, like, necessary to me. Like, Divine already is, like, very close to Ankh's value, and that's something that not a lot of people realized, but Ankh was going into the same bucket that Sacred Ground was, which effectively reduced its value by about half, which made it so that Ankh was just boosting heals that were incoming to you by about 12.5% if you assume that you were in a Sacred when you got healed. And then at 12.5%, that's basically the same thing as Divine, because Divine's multiplying all those heal effects instead of adding to that same bucket. It's a different bucket, so it's like Divine just, like, felt like it was as good as Ankh before, and it definitely is now. But it's like a weird math reason. Shirking and power slash protection and divine with inductor. Yeah. Like that's like a really, really good amulet. Do you think the haste of hasted vigor would stack too, or is it just the dot perk? What does hasted vigor go on? I remember that perk like looked like it was insane, but I don't know what this actually goes on. Like, is it on armor? Oh, it is on armor. Oh, it's on boots. I mean, this just seemed like a must-have thing. It's like free 10% haste if someone runs rune glass. Like, yes, people like to run rune glass. I'll take my 10% haste. Thank you. Like, I don't think there's much more to think about that. Oh, it says any armor? Yeah, I mean, you always run this. Like, why would you not run this? Like, everyone just got 5 new perk slots anyway if you were running health. Like, health is useless now. Like, if you run 5 pieces of health, you gain 1k HP. Like, who cares? Like, health is useless. Just don't run it. Wait, look at the label. Damage absorb? Wait. What's that mean, Crush? It's been too long. I haven't played New World in a long time. What's in the damage absorb tag? Oh no, you can't run that in elemental aversion or shirking fort. Oh. Yeah, it's sad. Uh, damn. Yeah, none of these illegal things let you get it either. Well, that's kind of sad. It's still a really good perk. Like, I'd still try to run one of these. Just because 10% haste is, like, insane. Did you find the player base in the data mine? Yeah, it's, like, right over here. Oh, God. What's Deadlock at right now? Does it even show it for Deadlock? Yeah, Deadlock's doing pretty good. This game's so fun. I'm not gonna lie. If people don't have it and they want it, I think I could figure out how to get you invited to it, but I'm pretty sure it's still like a closed game and there's like 100k people playing it right now. But Deadlock is such a fun game. The Reddit's been really funny too for New World like today. Like it's just a bunch of people like copying and like a bunch of like shit posts. This Bush gave a quest and I can't control the camera. Dude's just spinning. As of right now, you aren't able to craft 725, correct? You can craft 725, but it's bind on pickup and it has magnify forced. Do with that what you will. To me, that just means it kind of sucks to craft it. But... Oh, also it doesn't require any armoring. But there's still a way to craft 725 with like one perk locked or something like that, and it's RNG and not magnify. Like I was clicking around a New World database and found something with that. I just forget where. Something weird. Like I think I just went through. I think what I did is I looked up schematics. And then it showed up. And it's oh, I'm on live. I'm being dumb. Yeah, so if I go like schematic, Gorgon's ring used in recipe, no. Oh, but this is what we just looked at. Right? That's what we were looking at earlier, and we're looking at like the bis ring thing. Yeah, those are magnify. Yeah, I don't know if I found a thing or not. I would assume that all the 725 stuff is magnify until someone finds something. Wait, they made it 2 jewelry makes? What? These assholes. What's a prismatic band? Is that like the current thing? Why does it look weird? That's no, that's new. That's 250. Oh man, they made it harder to get stuff. Yeah, the new stuff requires 2 jewelry matrices. I guess stock up on your prismatic stuff. How much do you want to bet that they didn't fix purifying heart with stone form? Like I would bet like $100 on that. Like I'd put $100 that they did not fix it. Like they actually just don't play their game. We've told them that like 20 times and then they don't fix it, and it's like one of the reasons why I got tilted off a New World. Motherfuckers really want us to farm matrices? Yeah, which means you have to do like the daily reward stuff. Like if you haven't noticed, like that the push from AGS is like to become like less of a, if you have money, you can advance through the end game as fast as possible kind of thing. And like a lot of random RNG to anyone can get to the end game, but it's gonna take a lot of time. And then we're gonna get rid of the benefits that money has to some extent. So if the bug fix list doesn't exist, if they close their eyes, dude, I'm not making that again. I made that bug fix list and they've fixed the top 5 bugs, and they said they'd look at everything else and just didn't fix anything. Like it's not worth it. Like that's why I don't want to do anything QA related for AGS again. Like they would have to pay me. it was it was like so boring, and they didn't listen, so it felt useless. It'll be fixed in Eternum. Oh yeah, so my bad. I forgot it's a new game. Dude, what's the Reddit been up to? Well, why is everything time gated? Is it me? Is there less content? This is 100% true, by the way. There's just less content after the release than it is right now. Yeah, currently, yeah, this is actually a really good Reddit post. Like I was thinking about this too. Like you have like so many different ways to get 700, and then like 725 is like PvP flag trust run. I think you get one thing from this. One raid, one box a week from OPR 3v3 combined. Yeah, this part is like I've been trying to verify this, but I wasn't sure. PvP tracks, OPR, and yeah, like there's not much for the end game. Like everything else is just like not useful. No, are we out of touch? No, it's the player bases who are wrong. Yeah, it's been one of those. I don't know. It's like I kind of wanted to make a video for like new players who are trying New World and like stuff like that, but it's like, dude, just stay away. Like even then, like I don't really want to come back to be honest, but like it's we'll see. Like it would be, it sounds like it would be fun for like a day, and then like I'd realize what the grind is, and then I'd be like, how about I just have fun and play a different game? Uh, that list was literally a thesis novel, and they treat it like a kindergarten project. I don't know. Like it could have been better, but like at the same time, the way that they currently handle stuff is so funny. Like if you guys aren't in the Discord, like maybe 3 weeks ago, we started reporting like random things, like hey, like on the live client, why is my life staff auto not knocking people back, or like random stuff like that, which only exists on the beta. And like we kept trolling the devs like at one point, like hey, they need to, like I don't know, let great axe hit from range or something like that. And then like the it didn't go to the devs, but it went to the like the customer service people, and they just like gave a generic, hey, your feedback's been received and we'll give this to the devs. And it was like I lost all hope in like AGS that day when people started pointing that out. Like they literally just gave a generic response and they like didn't take any action, and it was like, dude, what are they doing? What's going on in here now? I know everyone's just banned in this Discord at this point though. Please fix New World. I just want the Umbros back, bro. Umbros were a better system. No cap. I've been thinking about it last year. The new world should have shut down in Brimstone so that the game could have at least had a good legacy before shutdown. Yeah, like if it shut down after Brim, that was like peak. And then like the next expansion came out. I mean, Rise of Angry Earth was okay for like maybe a week to a week and a half, and then it kind of got boring. This, dude, I don't even know if I want to like play the next version. I'm not gonna lie. It kind of sounds too grindy. Like if the raid's really fun, it's like maybe. And if the raid's like disappointing, it's just like yeah, I'm gonna chill. They also don't know how many raids you could do in a week. I hated Umbros, the seller spam. I just had to keep the chat muted. Dude, that's why I liked it, because I didn't have to interact with PvE. I just didn't want to do PvE at the time. One, you can do one, maybe one character. But like it's just not gonna be that fun. And some people are gonna like do the whole fresh thing all over again. Like, oh god, no. Like I do not want to do it all over again. Like I'm one raid a week. Wait, it's only one raid a week? They time gated the raid part too? What? Wait, how long does it take to get bis? Oh god. Problem is that the legacy servers are ass. Yeah. I mean that's why everyone wants to do fresh, but like I don't want to just like level on fresh. Guys, it's time to let go. I mean, that's where I'm at. I've been playing other games. I have not played New World. I've been playing Albion, which I've been playing a little bit less of lately because Deadlock's been so fun, but Albion has been decently fun for the last 3 months. Mostly fun for the shit talking. A little bit less fun for the gameplay, but the shit talking's been really fun. Because like everyone speaks different languages in that game, so people just start swearing at each other in random different languages, and it gets really funny really fast. It also gets really racist really fast. It's the other part that's like not as fun, but like also kind of funny at the same time. Because the Europeans are just somehow more racist than like Americans, and I don't understand why. And like people don't really get that until they play a game like that, and it's like, oh my god. You go double down checking neural database Discord. Raid loot is once a week. Okay. Crush, now I'm getting into tangent mode. I'm tired. This is once a week? How do you check if it's once a week? Also, why can this drop 3 chromatic seals? I'll let go the day another game with New World's combat comes out. I mean, there's just like other games with good combat. I mean, I was that way too. And then I realized that like I don't know if I care enough about New World's combat to have it prop up like everything else about the game. Like like if you think about it from like a factor standpoint, like I don't know. Like say say there's like 6 factors you care about. And then New World just has one of these. So like this is just New World. And then I play a different game. And like say I play Albion or something like that. And Albion has like 4 of these factors. Then like I'd rather play Albion if it has more factors I like than New World. And then like say there's another game that comes out. Like say there's Deadlock and Deadlock has 5 of these factors I like. Like that I would rather play Deadlock. Like it's just like that's how I view it for me now. Like Deadlock has really, really, really fun combat too. And it feels less grindy. And there's developer notes once a week and updates once a week. And it's only in like alpha or beta or something like that. And it's already a really good and weirdly polished game for being that early on. So New World Database Discord, just search Raid Leak. What? Oh, but there's a limit on how many can run per week, but most of the value of running it is for normal users to be once per week. I'd rather have a link to what's going on, but neural database guys are usually not wrong because they're just giant nerds. Dude, there's one guy I met from the neural database Discord that has every single Isabella voice line ripped out from the game and saved on his computer because he just really likes Isabella, and it was the weirdest thing I've ever heard of, and like also like kind of impressive. It's like, dude, like you don't need like an AI Isabella in your life. uh, like these guys are so weird but so good at what they do. Uh, some of them aren't weird though. But most of them are kind of. Uh, oh no, we need more Isabella. I got my hard stop in 15 minutes. So I think I'm gonna go to the bathroom. So maybe I'll pass you guys over to someone else if someone else is actually online. You guys want to go see Eldorian? He's playing the other game. Or do you want to see someone else? Coco Lily's playing it. Don't leave us alone. I mean, what do you guys want to see? Like I can pass you to someone else. I just don't know if you want to be passed to someone else. Why is Dusty still streaming New World? Oh my god. So happy to see Eldorian hit it big with Deadlock. Yeah, I mean he was already kind of hitting it big before, but oh yeah, he's making a lot of money actually with that. They upped the amount of money you get from subs now. I think he gets like $4 per one of these, so he's making like 800 per month off of this alone. And his YouTube videos are 50K, and considering I make like $4 per oh yeah, he's making 200 bucks a video now too. Yeah, he's doing well. Like not full-time level well, but like we definitely could be part-time. 75% if Patreon or whatever it's called. Yeah, but no one like wants to use that from what I've seen. Like I don't think people really use Patreon. I mean maybe. I don't know. Deadlock reminds me of Paladins. Paladins have way like worse graphics in this. Like I mean just look at this. Like you could just fly around and do stuff. I mean this is like the training range. Like but you can kind of just fly around. Does he have a 5 minute queue? Is he that good at this game? Oh no, he's been in this match for 5 minutes. I was like, I swear my queues are like 10 to 30 seconds, and I thought I was pretty good. But okay. Oh, 75% if you're at a certain tier on Twitch. Yeah, you need to. I don't think he's there. Uh, he'd have to be a partner. I don't think he's there. Is there anyone else? I mean, I could pass it. Do you guys want to see New World stuff, or do you want to see Deadlock stuff? I can throw in a quick poll, but I am quick poll. But I don't know. This game has been really fun. New World I have not been playing as much because I've been playing a lot of this game. But it is a MOBA, so it's like a little bit different. It's kind of the thing that everyone's been playing though, I'm not gonna lie. Okay, you guys are voting for Deadlock. Do I host Eldorian or do I host someone small? I usually like to host small people. It is nice to see that Eldorian's hitting it big though, but maybe I'll host Coco. Because most people know Coco from New World. I don't know if Coco will be as good at this game. But she is actively in the game, and Eldorian's just chilling in the practice range. Okay. I will see you guys when I see you guys. There should be a video coming out tomorrow. And maybe we'll play Deadlock on stream. Coco is a COD player, I think. So she actually might be pretty good. Okay. Peace.